Stage 1 of the Jayco Tour of Tasmania starts from the Lake Pedder Chalet on the banks of Lake Pedder itself. A popular destination for bushwalkers, fishermen and lovers of nature in general. Well, I don't think the riders will be thinking too much about the stunning location where they're racing. It's going to be more about the difficulty of the stage itself. It's 120 kilometres with two pretty tough King of the Mountain climbs just before the halfway point. But any breakaway groups that do get away during the stage will probably be reeled back in before the finish line. The overnight leader from Charter Mason Racing, Ben Hill, holds a pretty strong lead and he'll be confident going into today's stage.
There's a few hills out on the road, so we've got some good climbers in the team. Keegan's just come back from Wells and he's got some good legs from there, so I think he'll be trying to follow the moves with this and looking for opportunities on the hills out there.
The roads are really rough. It's pretty windy road, so a break could easily slip away and get out of sight, out of mind real quickly.
After a gentle rollout from the Lake Pedder Chalet, the attack started thick and fast, and Jason Lee was the first rider to get away from the peloton.
It was a really tough course today out of Lake Pedder, and the break got away fairly soon and before the really hard hills of the day.
We were going over a rise and I thought I had the momentum coming through the bunch and just thought I'd give it a dig and got away and no one seemed to be coming across, so just a few K just out solo and wanted to pick up the first bonus seconds in the first sprint.
A group of 4 riders picked up Jason Lee to make a group of 5 out in front. As they approached the first King of the Mountain climb, it looked as if Lee was the strongest rider going up the climb.
The others just sat up and let us go and I got over him that time and we just regrouped over the top because we knew we needed the numbers. A long way to go to the finish still.
As they approached the top of the second King of the Mountain climb at 53 kilometres, the group had been reduced down to 3, and it was Matthew Ross this time picking up the points in front of Lee. As the group of 3 worked well together out in front, the gap blew out to 4 minutes and 20 seconds over the main field.
And just a little bit of, lack of commitment to work from the big teams and a bit of a standoff with Charter and Avanti meant that, we sort of ticked it over, but no one really got the ball rolling, and the break got out to 4:20, which made everyone a bit uncomfortable, although it turned out they got pretty tired out there, I think.
The breakaway group having such a large lead, it was down to the big teams in the Subaru National Road Series to come to the front and start chasing.
Eventually Charter and African committed, and then it got to a point with 22 Ks to go where pretty much all the workhorses were running out of gas. And that's when I decided to hit it and bridge across to the break.
We knew we would get caught coming to the end because it was just too open. Obviously the peloton was coming fast down there with the downhill finish, the last 50 or so K.
With 15 kilometres remaining in the stage, it was now Sean Lake from African Wildlife Safaris alone out in front.
Last few kilometres were just, just trying to stay on top of it. It's just pain, getting bogged down, bringing it back up, and then just trying to get myself to that last corner at the bottom of the hill, and was trying not to let myself think about that brutal hill.
As Sean Lake came around the final turn, there was a nasty hill up to the finish line and his tired legs were able to just hold off the charging peloton led home by Anthony Jayco in second and Michael Schweitzer, Lake's teammate, in third.
Absolutely stoked to get the win in that way. It's it's definitely special, the solo win, even though it ended up on the same time. The long move just feels great.
It was a super strong solo performance for Sean Lake to take out the stage ahead of Jayco and Schweitzer. A solid day in the breakaway for Jason Lee has him wearing the Sprint Leaders competition and also the King of the Mountain jersey. While Anthony Jayco now moves into second position, he's only 4 seconds behind the race leader from Charter Mason, Ben Hill.